This is an initial consultation and needs analysis for the client Marta Hitomakai with regards to distance running. This consultation will outline the physiological and behavioural needs required for training for a half marathon. As such, it will draw from a new client screen, pre-exercise screening tools, and an initial consult for the development of an action plan. Through completion of a new client screen, Marta provided all the relevant information seen here, along with an abbreviated outline of her current physical activity levels. As the client has expressed through her aim, she wishes to increase current training levels so to complete a half marathon. A pre-exercise screening was incorporated to identify the client's current physical health before applying a new exercise program to her lifestyle. As such, the selection of a relevant pre-screening tool is required, the two options being the PARQ and the Adult Pre-Exercise Screening System. Both are quite simple questionnaires which utilise 7 questions related to recent medical history to highlight any exercise performance affected. Although both have been well developed and heavily supported by the industry, they do conflict somewhat. Client referral is one of the most notable differences, whereby the PARQ directs patients to a practitioner, while the APSS is more directed to exercise professionals. Practitioners often lack the knowledge of absolute and relative contraindications to exercise, and as a result may misinform their client on their capabilities. The APSS also includes more options for detailed analysis for the client in its second and third stages, which can be of significant benefit to the client. For this client, the APSS was utilised as the major screening tool. Upon completion of the APSS, it was determined that Marta had no history of limiting factors and therefore is able to complete prescribed moderate exercise. An important aspect of the initial consult is the formation of attainable and relevant goals to maintain the client's motivation while completing a prescribed training regime. In terms of a health-related goal, the client wishes to achieve a clear reduction of fat mass and thus a reduction in BMI. From a behavioural perspective, the client wishes to adopt prescribed exercise regimen into her daily life and maintain beyond the completion of her exercise goal. Finally, in terms of an ex-performance goal, Marta wishes to develop aerobic capacity from current levels to complete a half marathon. To best develop the client's program, literature relating to the science behind half marathon running was utilised. A report from Esvania and Larson determined that both high-intensity training and continuous training had similar effects on the improvements in running time for novice runners. Such, both will be implemented for use in the development of the client's goals and training program. Though supported heavily in literature, one report, in particular by R. Hagen and Associates, determined that establishing a solid training base and volume is very important when designing a training program for distance runners. This is due to the fact that 48% of the novice marathon runners that were examined in the report performed times that could be strongly attributed to average training distance per day. This also strongly indicates the need to develop aerobic capacity. In summary, all aspects explored in this presentation, namely the new client screen, pre-exercise screening tools, initial consult, and the needs analysis will be taken into account when determining the best course of action for the client. Lastly, specific goals have been developed for a training program concentrating on the enhancement of aerobic capacity. Moving forward in terms of an action plan, Marta now requires exercise prescription in the development of an exercise plan with regard to completion of a half marathon, and lastly, information regarding the development of training techniques specified in the literature will work to increase aerobic capacity.